Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrofil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our international class in module Statistics and Data Analysis. Okay, first of all, let us discuss about what is statistics. So, statistics is all things about data, where the data is come from phenomenon or problems, and as usually you can see the data in form of table or in form of a diagram or chart. And statistics is a science that is study about how we can collect the data, arrange the data, and also how we can analyze and provide the data to get at the end a decision that is logic and also accurate. And in general, we can see statistics in two steps. The first step is descriptive statistics, where here you can analyze with or by using components such as average, minimum value, maximum value, and also the standard deviation. And in the second step, you will have inferential statistics, where here you can analyze data deeper, for example, to do forecast and also to take the decision, for example, to see the influence of the experiments to the parameter observed. So, for example, you can do variant analysis of variance, ANOVA, at the second step that is called inferential statistics. Okay, now, because we discussed previously that statistics is all about data, you should also know what is the requirements for a data. The first one is the data should be objective based on the object of our study. Secondly, the data should be representative to the population or the object of the study. And also, in terms of error, we should minimize the number of error. The data should also has a time correlation. So in special case, you need to see the relation of time to the data, and sometimes you cannot use the data anymore because of the time was passed already. And then lastly, the data should be in the relevant context with the problem that you want to solve or you want to discuss. So please remember about all requirements for the data. Then you can control or measure that you have a good or reliable data. For the source of data, you can see here that the first one you should understand about what is a population. So a population is all object that you assume as the object of the study. And then you can also have the term of sample, where the sample is the subset or a small portion of your population. For example, here you can say that the population of your study for the height and the weight, the body weight of student in agricultural engineering department from 2019 to 2021. And altogether, probably you can have about 240 students. And in case you cannot reach all population, you can do a simple way to take out some sample from your population. For example, you just select about 45 students from 240, where you can take, for example, for each year student, you can choose or select about 15 students. And altogether from 3 years student, you can have 45 students. So then, this 45 student is a sample of student from Department Agricultural Engineering. From the total student you have, about 240 students. And so why we need to do sampling? You can see here that sampling provide us some benefits. For example, you can have like you can save your energy, your money and times in doing research. And then in some cases you have also the unlimited population that it is not possible for you as a researcher to study all of them, each member of population. You cannot reach all of them since the number of your population is very large, and we say for this unlimited or infinite population. And then the study also showed that the sampling method is always accurate. So then this information or this theory can be the reason why we are going to do sampling. And moreover, if you force yourself to measure each member of your population, if you have a very large number of population, then you can also cause the increase of systemic error. So that's why the sampling method is very important in statistic perspective. And now I will show you the diagrams of statistic steps. You can see here that it is the area of statistic descriptive. Start from collecting the data, classification the data, provide the data, or display the data, and also analyze the data, including the average, the minimum value, the maximum value, and the standard deviation. And if you go to do the analysis to explain about your population, for example, you are doing the hypothesis test, variance analysis, then you jump to the statistic inferential steps. So it is very important to understand that you cannot avoid statistic in your data analysis. At least you should use statistic descriptive, and if you can, it is recommended for you to improve your analysis by using inferential statistics. So statistics is a very important tool for you to take a decision at the end of data analysis. And here I want to show you the types of data. You can have like qualitative and quantitative data. We have here 4 columns of data types. The first one is nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. The first two, nominal and and ordinal belongs to the qualitative data. The example of nominal data is gender, religion, and the example of ordinal data is age, the level of age, the level of education, etc. While for the quantitative data, you can have the types of interval and ratio data. And the difference between interval and ratio data is that in ratio data you can have a zero value, and also the ratio types data cannot be in negative value. And here I show you the classification of the data. You can see based on the characteristic of the data, we can have two types, qualitative and quantitative data. Based on the sort of the data, you can have a primary data and secondary data. If you collect the data directly by yourself, then you will have primary data. But if you take the data from others, then your data become secondary data. And based on the way you collect the data, we can have two types of method. The first one is called census, the second one is sampling. What is the difference between these two? The sampling, you know that you take a small part of your population to be representative as samples, while in census, then you evaluate or observe all members of your population. And lastly, based on the time you collect the data, we can have like a cross-section data types and also a time series data types. The time series data types is all data that is depend on the times. Here I show you the first method of displaying the data by using a table. You can see here that the first one I have the title of the table, and then in the table you can give attention to the title of the columns, and you will have columns, and also you can have a row. For example, in this table you can see that it shows us three types of products A, B, and C, and the information of four selling district, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you have also the information of the total sellings number. So it is very important that you can display the data in a good method that help the people to understand the content of your data. Besides tabulated the data, you can also show the data in form of graphs, and you can see here I have the same data, but this time I give you in form of chart. The benefit of chart is that you can see like which one is the highest value directly, and you can also put a legend to differentiate between the types of products, and you can have a conclusion about the data probably faster if you compare the previous table and this chart. But actually both types of displaying data has plus and minus, so you can choose both of them. You can also have a bar chart with more than one data. It is called grafik batang komponen berganda. The bar chart with double component. You can also have more than two components together. And for example, here you have two components, that is in import and export. And the benefit of this type of bar chart is that you can see directly the total of import and export. And as alternative, you can also display the tabulated data directly in this position. The next type of chart is a pie chart, and this pie chart is very helpful for you because it can calculate for you directly the percentage value of the data. For example, here we have 4 types of transportation mode, and we can see here that most of transportation mode used in Indonesia in 1999 is motorcycle, for about 71%. So this single pie chart help you directly to know the percentage value of the data. We can also make the map chart. It is called cartogram, and you can use Microsoft Excel to produce this cartogram, and I provide you the tutorial so you can follow this tutorial in YouTube. Please go to this video to have soft skill about how to produce your own cartogram by using Microsoft Excel. As alternative, you can also make a pictogram, that is a chart with a picture, so you can make like this, for example. You can determine each picture by a certain value that you need, so you can change this. Maybe you can use like 1000 or 2000, depend on the data you have. And here the last alternative I show you. You can also make a bar chart, but also then input the picture inside according to, for example, the product, the names of the product. And you can use this method of displaying the data in your PowerPoint presentation, but I will not recommend you to put this in your thesis. Okay. So for today's discussion, I would like to close with the benefit of statistics in our studying. It is very important that we can prevent the failure in design, machine design or process design, and then we can use statistics for analysis our experiment, and also like to control the quality of manufacture, and etc. You can use statistics for so many purpose in your data analysis. Since statistics is a tool that will help you to discuss something and take a final conclusion. So I hope you have a general understanding about statistics, and hope you enjoy the module during this semester, and please try to love statistics. because you will need this in your life. Okay, thank you very much for your attention. See you again. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.